Please note, before we begin, the following mock ship check demonstrations are intended for educational purposes only. These scenes were filmed inside mock ship compartments, and personal protective equipment, PPE, was intentionally not worn to clearly show each step of the process.
Alright, so now we're on the back side of the door, which we would be looking for our backside interferences now. It's the same thing. We got the insulation, the bulkhead insulation is going to need to be removed, right? So we're going to take measurements from the overhead to the bottom and on each side, and we're going to factor that in and go ahead and add it to what we did on the outside, and that will be our total square footage for this door.
Okay.
As far as the interferences go with that, okay? So go ahead and pull your measurements on that. Remember how we did it before?
The top of the bulkhead, or
Yeah,
here?
yeah, go right there is fine.
Okay.
And we're just going to probably call it, it's probably going to be like 6 foot again, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
6 foot? Okay, 6 foot. Then we'll go ahead and measure this diameter, or this width. I'm sorry, not diameter, width. So call it 12, that's 12. So that's 6 foot on this side, and then come on over to this side.
Stuck. Okay. Do the same thing?
Yep. Well, we already know the top to bottom is going to be 6
6
foot.
foot.
Just you got to measure your width now.
Okay.
And call it a foot too as well. So that's 6 foot there. And then we got the, you might well say, we'll call this, I don't know, we'll say, what is the length of that? Measure from here to here. You got about, what about 4, we'll call it 3 foot?
Yes, sir.
3 by 2, so just add another 3 foot to it.
Okay.
Well, that's what I would do. So we got 6, 6, and 3. So that's what?
15.
15. And then we had 20 on the outside, right?
Yep.
So now what are we up to?
35.
So on our sheet we would write down 35 square feet, right?
Yes,
of what size insulation? Get your 6-inch rule. What do we measure it as? Just put it to the plate. You can do it up here where you can see the plate. Should be approximately 1 inch, right?
Yep. 1 inch.
So it's 1 inch bulkhead insulation, okay? All right, and that's what we have to make sure that they understand, that they got to replace that. If, for instance, you notice some of the doors don't stop this high above the deck, and if for some reason there's damage below the door and it has to be replaced before the door does, you have to look at what the decking is on the decking here, correct? So right now we're standing on blue electrical matting, okay? Because this space that we're standing in could be an electrical space. Most places that have anything electrical, they're going to have the blue matting in them, load center, stuff like that. So that means they would have to, at a minimum, you have to you have to give yourself 6 inches on either side of that space, okay? Now, so that means it's in here, that means they may have to replace 6 inches of, or put down new matting, or you got to measure this section. See the gap in it?
Yep.
You would measure this whole section and say replace, allow them for that replacement, okay? And you got to paint the deck too. The 00932 is called out for that, okay?
Okay.
So once that's done, then you got to ask yourself another question, all right? What's above it? And what's below it? Okay? There's how many sides to a square?
4.
What's that way, what's this way, what's up, and what's down? You always have to ask yourself that question. So we'll say for this instance, it's a ballast tank that's under this door. We can't get into a ballast tank because it requires gas-free. At that moment, they're not going to drain it and do whatever we need to do with it. But we need to let them know that there's a ballast tank under it, because if they do welding on that deck, they have to drain it, clean it, and make it serviceable for somebody to go in there and stand fire watch. Okay? Above, things you got to ask yourself, what if this is CIC above us? All the electronic gears up there, they have a false deck with a Nomex decking on it when all their cables run under that deck. So that means they would have to go up there and probably remove the Nomex deck, move whatever cabling they need to move back temporarily until they get the weld job done. And once it's cool, then they got to put all that back. So see, if you don't call this stuff out, it gets exponentially expensive.
Yes, sir.
If it's not called out. So, all right, so now we're just going to take our pictures on the inside. What did I tell you we need to take pictures of on the outside?
The data plate and the
Okay, so what do you think we need to shoot in here to make it?
A back shot of everything.
You need a good back shot, stand back from it so they can see the deck, they can see the side bulkheads, and they can see the overhead. Okay, and they can see the door itself. All right, so go ahead and snap a couple of them pictures. Just lay like you know. And then make sure you get down at the bottom. Yep. So they can see that it's got the electrical matting down there, which you can call out during your job.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. All right, that should be the end of that. Now that is a door ship check. Okay.